going on, guys? It's Justin from the J Media back with another video. We have Chris right here and his beautiful S15 today. And if you guys don't know, we're shooting a few different videos today. So cinematic, a walk around, which is what this video is, as well as behind the scene vlogs. So tell us a little bit more about your car, Chris. What's the story behind this car? What car this is, what year, how did you get it? Give us the beans.
Sure. 1999 Nissan Silvia Spec R. This is a halo car for me, at least for me. It was a poster on my wall back when I was in my early teens. They never brought this car to the US. They discontinued the Nissan 240SX in the US in 1998. So the last model version we got was the S14. But yeah, I've always hankered after one of these cars. Bought this car in 2022 in Japan. I'd actually been looking for an R34 originally, a two-door R34, and decided I really wanted an S15. The R34 prices had started to go up, so I'm like, there's probably more value in buying this now. So started looking in 2022, went through about 4 or 5 of these cars through auction before I found this guy. The way you see it is not the way I bought it. The only things that were on the car were the front bumper, sides, and rear, hood, and fenders, but they were in pretty rough shape. Car was black originally, needed paint. So started bidding on the car, and I watched the bids go past my reserve, my amount that I put as my top. So I'm like, how badly do I really want this? And, it took about 10 minutes for me to make my mind up that I really did want this. So went ahead and yeah, I put the final bid on it. I won it. I found out the next day after I woke up. I was off in Boston for work, and I was ecstatic. It's probably the most excited I've been in the last few years. So it's effectively a relatively stock car from the drivetrain standpoint, but it's got full suspensions, all the Kia formula, K-Office DG5 coilovers. The car was actually built in Japan in 2022, so this car was not legal for import till February of 2024, which happens to be my birthday, so I tried to time it to where I could bring it on my birthday.
Birthday present.
Yeah. So I had a company in Japan called Julius Racing build it. Hide Hinawa is the name of the owner. He's an ex-D1 GP driver actually, and used to do a lot of S15 work, chasers, JZX platform, etc. So he knows these cars really well. A few of my friends in Japan are in the military, so that's how I was able to connect and build the car remotely. I never saw this car until it arrived on US soil, which is
crazy.
Pretty unnerving, yeah. So, but yeah, so we did all of the drivetrain work at his shop, all the suspension. We pulled the motor, and then I had actually sent it out to a different shop to have it painted. Shout out Car Shop Make Connection, awesome guy. Kazuchin is the name of the owner. He does all the expat and the service members near Yokota's cars. So he did all the paint work, the body work that you see, got the body paneling all dialed in. And this is it. I mean, this is how it presented itself. I did all the wheels. I've added a few bits and pieces here and there.
So work VSKF wheels?
Yeah, so these are VSKF wheels. I got them from VR Wheels. Had them rebarreled in step lip because they were 17 face. And I'm a big step lip guy. So 18 by 10, 18 by 11. Have to really dial in the offset and get everything to fit, and that was sight unseen. So I hadn't gotten the car. I bought the wheels before I got the car.
Pretty aggressive front camber too. I was looking at it from this angle. Yep. Quite a bit of tire poke. Matching, no, not matching camber. More camber out front.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit more stance than I typically like. I have another set of wheels which are TE37s, very squared setup, more track oriented, which I probably will put on soon. This is more for like street use, but it is very aggressive. You're absolutely right. I'm running almost 5 degrees of camber in the front, so not super usable for anything outside of drifting, perhaps. The rear's a bit more pulled back. It's about -2, but yeah, it's got the. I'm a big fan of the 90s, early 2000s, like Japanese drift style, but also like their street style. So I was trying to kind of capture that with this car.
Yeah, it's a combination of both because I feel like the VSKF is pretty hot boy wheel setup, very stance wheel setup, but your tire setup is pretty meaty.
It is.
So it's kind of
it's kind of. I'm trying to balance both worlds. That's right.
Yeah,
absolutely. The drive's great. It rubs a little bit in the rear, which is more of some fender clearance work that we got to do. So that's going to be winter of this year. Going to go back, fix that, so I have more travel and up travel. But other than that, car drive's great. I street it all the time. Like I take it out when the weather's nice like this, and I love driving it. It's a great car. Only has 45,000 kilometers on it now, original. So I try to keep the mileage down, but I'm so tempted.
So that's about how many miles roughly?
Roughly that equates to like 24,000. So
super little miles.
Yeah, I was surprised because it's a 99 and I expected it to have 180, 200. I just, you know, I guess the stars aligned on this one. Like I got lucky.
So let's start with the front end of the car. So what do you have done on the outside of the front end?
Sure. So this is all BN Sports, front bar, fenders, hood, Sea West eyeliners, Origin drift line, splitter. This splitter is it's a universal fit, so I wasn't even sure if it would work with this bumper. It's designed for Origin's drift line, but it actually fit pretty well. It comes out a little far on the sides, but I think it matches the flow of the wheels and kind of the fitment.
Yeah.
So we have that. These are Voltex canards. These are universal canards that happen to fit really well. I took some measurements and was able to get those to work. And then Blitz front mount intercooler. You can see that. The whole car effectively is fiberglass, with the exception of the doors and the roof.
That's Japanese body kits.
The Japanese body kits.
Yeah, I know.
I will give a lot of credit to BN. They do really good work. Their fiberglass is not too thick or too thin. You know, when it gets too thick, it gets kind of brittle. Too thin will just crack. Yeah. So this is just the right amount. So it almost feels like if you were to rub on something, it's like urethane. It does have a little bit of flex and play, but it won't crack.
And that's BN Sports hood too?
BN Sports hood, BN Sports 25mm front fenders.
Oh yeah.
B Magic front bumper.
B Magic front bumper. Yeah, aggressive front fenders. And the rear is a little wider. Are those BN Sports too? Or?
Oh no, those are. So I couldn't find. BN discontinued a lot of their rear over fenders just because it wasn't a popular buy for them. So those are actually 326 power. Those are 326 power Gabachi 45mm fenders. So not as aggressive as Origin and some other brands, but I think it flows really well with the body lines. Keeps that same
molded on too.
S15, yep.
Oh yeah, very clean.
Yeah, again, Car Shop Make Connection did a really amazing job putting this together. Body line's really clean. It's actually, people say it's molded. It is sort of molded. It's bonded, but there's rivets, so it's not actually molded to the body. And I've had bad luck with molded kits in the past cracking. So.
Okay. And how much wider is the rear?
The rear is 45mm.
In the front, how much wider?
25.
25. Okay. Wow. And the side skirts, are those BN Sports too?
Yeah, so the whole kit, the whole body kit is B Magic by BN Sports.
And that's a rear lip too?
Rear bumper.
Rear bumper,
yep.
Okay. Yep. Wow. And that's OEM wing or 326?
This is actually an OEM wing. I am a huge fan of this wing. I know a lot of people will find this kind of controversial because people are like, oh, that wing is, you got to put something big and wide.
I like it.
I like it. I think Nissan did a really good job of combining the Type X wing from the 180 with the S14 Navon wing. If you look at the two and you kind of overlay them, that's effectively what the Spec R S15 wing is. Always loved this third brake light. Even when I was a kid, I would see this and be like, that looks cool.
So that's all OEM?
This is all OEM. So this light is an aftermarket light from Boosted International. Okay. The factory one is just a red version of this. So.
Got it. Okay. The clear tails too. I think it ties very nicely.
Thank you. Yeah.
And what tail light setup is this?
This is a 7/8 Works. So it's a company out of Japan. They make a lot of different styles of LED lights. So they have like your EL style tube light. This is more of the older, like mid-2000s style LED light that you see on some cars. Okay. So sequential turn signals.
Nice. We got to see that later.
Yeah, of course.
That's cool. Carbon trunk.
Yeah, carbon trunk. This is a Takeshi Stout. It's very hard to find carbon trunks for these unless you go with Garage Mac, and the wait time is enormous for those brands. So this one I happened to find through the body shop, and he was friends with the owner of this company. So this is kind of you can get it in Japan if you look, but they're kind of hit or miss. Like you'll find it sometimes you won't. So they just make batches.
Oh. Very cool. And then we have this little. This is carbon. Oh, carbon too. Yeah.
That's carbon. Yeah. So nice. I like subtlety in my cars. I think that's me personally. I think if you're going to show a car that's somewhat flamboyant in a way, or has like big wheels, chrome, like there should also be a lot of subtle elements to balance it out. Balance is really important for me. So like the carbon has, it's hard to see without the sun, but it's faded. Yeah. So it kind of blends to the paint.
It's on purpose, right?
Correct, it's on purpose. Yeah, wow. I asked him, we were thinking of painting the whole thing, and I'm like, well, that wouldn't show off like the weave and the level of detail they took making this trunk. Yeah. Same thing with the Origin spoiler. So it's faded. This is an Origin carbon fiber roof spoiler. I just like that, the subtle elements underneath the car pop out, and that's like if you look at Pagani, you look at Ferrari, Bugatti, they always have these subtle elements. I really like that in those supercars.
Yeah, so. Wow. it's like you don't notice until you're up close, like all in the little details.
Yeah,
that's what makes a build.
Yeah, I like people to find stuff. It's always nice to find a new thing on a car that you've
Oh
seen
yeah,
before.
yeah. Wow. All right, and for the exterior, would you say pretty much it for exterior? Oh, Ganadors, can't forget that.
Oh yeah, these are, so funny enough, actually a friend of mine just got a set of these as well. So these are Kabuki mirrors. So
Okay.
Kabuki is a Japanese company that bought all of the rights and
Okay.
the CAD, I believe the CAD designs to Ganador. So Ganador is defunct
okay.
now. You can still find them on Yahoo Japan if you look, but the pricing is, what
Crazy.
people know, is pretty high.
Yeah.
These run anywhere from about 500 to 700, so reasonable.
Okay.
Metal bases, they have the same Ganador fiberglass enclosure. They're making a carbon fiber mirror pretty soon, so that might be one of the next exterior things I get, you know, next
Yeah.
year.
Okay.
But yeah, these are effectively Ganador version 2.0.
Wow, very nice. All right, I guess let's move on to the engine bay. Let's check out the engine bay. So tell us what we have over here.
Sure. So basically not much to see as far as engine's concerned. It's a S15 SR. So they made 3 revisions of this engine, one in the 89 to 94 240SX and 180SX, 95 to 98 in Japan, and then 99 to 2002. So everybody likes this engine because it's got a Garrett ball bearing turbo. Factory was making about 250 horsepower, although it's slightly underrated when people have put these cars on the dyno stock. Just some basic things that I decided to do just to prep for big power down the road. Blitz front mount intercooler, Blitz DD. I'm a big fan of Blitz, if you guys can't tell.
Oh yeah.
So Blitz intake. Have a Koyo aftermarket radiator. As you know, in Texas it gets really hot, and this has kept my temperatures down significantly. Blitz oil cooler, you can't really see it, but it's kind of tucked in there. And then, yeah, other than that, it's really, for me, I just wanted some reliability mods to be able to drive it, enjoy it, and then kind of get used to the chassis, feel how the car reacts dynamically. And then my plan is end of this year, try to push for 400 horsepower. I have a new turbo upgrade for it, a GTX turbo from Garrett. It's a bolt-on, set of HKS cams, Nissan 740 injectors. And so we'll go for 400, see what we make reliably. And huge shout out to Barnaby Performance, Juan Vargas, great Nissan guy, does great work. Juan, thank you. Really helped me like make sure this car was solid before I sent it on its way. He's helped me with my R32 GTR. He's worked on some other cars of mine, so I really recommend him if you're a Nissan person and you have cars in Austin or surrounding areas and you worked on. So.
Nice. And stock block with the SR20, you could push 400 pretty reliably just with
pretty
bigger
reliably.
turbo.
Some people have pushed more. The real thing with SRs is tuning.
Okay.
And then making sure that the system has oil and is cool, like the engine is cooled. So reliability mods are really key. Most Nissan engines really are oil driven, meaning if they don't get enough oil, like any other engine, they'll starve, but these especially need a lot of oil. So this has actually an upgraded sump. I forgot to mention that. It's got an upgraded Tomei N2 sump just to give it more oil. Yeah, but reliably you can make about 400. There's guys running 450, 500 as well, with bigger injectors, bigger turbo, and so on.
Very cool. All right, so speaking of engine mods, what do you have for like your exhaust setup? Do you have any tune on it?
Sure, it's not tuned. It is running a HPI turbo outlet, HPI split Cobra mouth, so it's like a large bell mouth downpipe, and then a Reinhardt dual exit exhaust. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Let's actually set up the car. Let's hear it.
Yeah, sure.
Setup sounds great.
Thanks.
Really good at idle.
Yeah, it's a little deeper because it has kind of a longer resonator and muffler integrated. So I really like the way these sound. I've always liked the Reinhardt exhaust. And, really good brand, really good quality. I recommend them if people are looking for more kind of a true tone. So.
Yeah. Okay. Later we'll do a ride along too, if that's okay, so we can hear it, you know, driving and stuff. I think it'll sound amazing. Yeah, with the SR20 motors, I don't know. I think. So I got an S14 for my sister years back, Zanki, and the KAs are just they don't sound good. Compared to SR, these are like way better, to me, way better sounding engines, way better performing engines.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah.
Nissan, if you don't mind, Nissan compromised a bit with our 240SX because they brought it over, and due to emissions and just a lot of other factors during the late 90s or early 90s, they weren't able to put these engines in our cars. Coincidentally, the SR20DE, the non-turbo version of this, actually comes in the Sentra SCR. Like, people know that from like 91 all the way up to like 2000, I believe. So if you need parts for SR20, if you have a swap, or if you buy an S15, S14, or S15 from Japan, you can still get those parts. A lot of those parts interchange for the engine.
Oh,
like
wow.
timing belts, water pumps, etc. So.
I didn't know that. Wow, very cool. All right, I guess we can check out the interior. Let's see what we have in the interior. Alright, so what are we looking at in the engine bay? Very clean setup.
Yep. Yeah. So interior is pretty basic. Didn't need a lot when I got it. I did a full detail on it, cleaned all the mats. I put these are later model S15 mats. So these are, I wouldn't say they're rare, but you can get these if you look. So like the B package S15 spec car had these. I really like the red and black, kind of going for that theme. So that's what this is. But yeah. Thrash Racing steering wheel, big shout out to Yusuf at Thrash. Love their stuff. It's an old school Japanese tuning garage, do a lot of drifting drift cars. They're actually having a big event this weekend in California. Brid Stradia 2 Kevlar back. Let's see if I can show you. It's a little hard to see, but you might be able to see it there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this Kevlar back Brids. I've been looking for these for a long time. Actually found a guy on Instagram that happened to have them, so made a deal with them, and they shipped them from Malaysia, and they came here in a week. So it's pretty good.
And you mentioned Brid, so that's a proper Japanese pronunciation. A lot of guys just say bride, but Brid is the proper way to pronounce it.
Up until about 5 years ago, I said bride, and sometimes I'll slip and say bride. People are like, "No, man, it's Brid." I'm like,
"That's me too."
Calm down. Yeah, but yeah, Brid is, I think, the pronunciation that everyone in Japan uses. But yeah, not a whole lot. I did a refresh, so the center console's new, just because, you know, years of gunk and stuff in the cup holder. Even after cleaning, I was just like not happy. I'm a bit OCD about stuff, especially when I spend most of my time in the cockpit of a car.
Oh yeah.
So replaced that. I did a carbon fiber trim. This is company in Japan does this carbon trim. The name will come to me, but they basically do like different pieces of the car, and I like this subtle overlay. It's a Nismo GT Pro shift knob, Pioneer in-dash, and then LEDs basically throughout the car. Big fan of lighting. I do like a lot of like good crisp lighting. So cluster has LEDs, the HVAC and controls have LEDs as well.
Very nice. And then of course can't forget the very signature Silvia logo right here.
These interiors from the factory don't need a lot. Some people like to dress them up, but I feel like Nissan, this was basically the height of Nissan at this point. 99 to 2002, R34 interior, S15 were really dialed in. So yeah.
So I have to ask you one question about, I guess, this S15, just because it's, you know, an S chassis.
Yep.
So S13, S14 guys always say crack dash. Does the S15, is that a pretty common issue with crack dash or not so much?
Not so much. The S15 dashes, whatever materials Nissan used after potentially they learned, they changed the material designs. The biggest thing with the S15 dash that happens is these vents break. It's really common. So I have like 3 sets of these vents.
Wow.
I replaced 2 of them that were because of the way they move and they turn. That mechanism is very, like, it looks like, you know, tiny piece of plastic, and they always tend to break. So.
Wow. Got the little Silvia badging all around the car. So I know some guys throw around the term Silvia pretty loosely, but would you say S15s are the only true Silvia, or can you consider like the S13 Sil ladies, are those considered Silvias?
Sure. So the S13, S14, and S15 chassis, that chassis code is considered a Silvia. So those would be like the coupe form of the Nissan 240SX.
Okay.
The hatchback form is actually called a 180SX in Japan. Okay. Like, people get them mixed up. Sil 80 could be technically a Silvia. It's really just the Silvia front on a 180SX chassis.
Got it.
Okay. But the Silvia line goes back to 1969, I want to say.
Wow.
I'm trying to remember the car code. It was like CP110, something like that. So that was the original Silvia. So it was just a small 2-door, you know, like basically roadster type car.
Wow.
And from there they developed it. It's not that uncommon to see Silvia still roaming around Japan. Like the 70 Silvias, 80 Silvias, they're very popular cars in Japan. But yeah, so the S13 through S15 is the true, like, is the namesake of the Silvia.
Okay, very cool.
Yep, so we're asking about the hub. This is a Works Bell GTC hub. So it's a like a quick release, but it's more of like the Super GT style or track car style where you can pop it loose like that. I like this better because I'm always putting my wheels in different places with the quick release and I don't have a hook hanging. So some of my friends do that. This is just easier to maintain.
Yeah.
Works Bell short hub. Works Bell is a great product. I like the other ones, NRG, HKB. But I've always had an affinity for these because when you take it out of the box, it feels like it's quality. Like, it's just really
premium.
Good. Yeah.
And over the years, I've went through the whole NRG to Works Bell, and like once you go Works Bell, it is more expensive, but you don't want to go back now.
Right. You only really need to buy one hub, and you can just move it from car to car too if you ever decide to do that. So.
Yeah. And this gauge right here, that's OEM?
Yes, I get questions about that all the time. So that is a factory boost gauge. It's the only generation of this car that had one. I don't know why Nissan did it, to be honest. They could have done so many other things, but they put it right there, just like a 8-pillar gauge of, you know, the 90s. So
yeah, very 90s style 8-pillar gauge.
Shout out to Nissan for giving us tuner boys something to showcase.
Very cool. Yeah, so very nice interior, very clean car inside and out. I might not have asked this, but what kind of brake and suspension setup are you running?
Sure. So suspension is K-Office. It's a DG5. The specific long term is Nico SPL. It's a different type of spring rate and also dampening setup. It was recommended by Hide-san, so I decided he knows what he's doing. He's built D1 GP cars. So we did that. All Ikea Formula arms. At the time when I bought this car, I was trying to leverage the yen, and I thought I could buy parts from SPL here home in Austin, or I could buy stuff in Japan, and then when that stuff wears out, buy the stuff here. Right. So because the yen was so weak at the time, I decided just to get everything in Japan, support Japanese economy kind of thing. So Ikea Formula arms, it's got Nismo lower control arms, Nismo power brace. As far as like the diff, it's a Nismo GT Pro 2A LSD. So I could drift this car if I was brave enough to, but I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat. So I'm not quite there yet with it.
And it's like tough because the S15 is such a halo car,
right.
And it's also so clean, so it's kind of like, do you want to drift it or keep it a nice clean street car?
100%, yeah. The temptation has come over me a few times. I ended up buying just an old 2004 G35. It's just a beater to drift and learn how to get back into it.
Yeah.
And then the plan would be at some point maybe do like an exhibition or something basic with this car, nothing too crazy. Nice. But drivetrain is, it's got a factory 6-speed. These cars came with a 6-speed as the other ones came with 5. Nismo copper mix clutch, C's short throw shifter. And other than that, that really rounds it out. It's got most of the suspension and drivetrain work done already so that I can upgrade the power later in the year.
Very nice. Alright, so we did a quick walk around of Chris's S15 Silvia, really clean build inside and out. I want to give Chris a big shout out for letting me shoot the car. They can check you out on Instagram. Yep. I'm going to link Instagram right here. And do you want to give a shout out to anyone else, any shops or anyone who helped you with the build?
Sure. First, shout out to my wife for being so understanding and amazing about me having this car. It's people know your partner is always an important thing to support you in your hobby. Bar2B Performance, shout out to Juan Vargas, awesome guy, great tuner, great, very detail-oriented mechanic. He builds cars kind of the old-school Japanese style. So if you guys get a chance, check it out. You can put his Instagram up. And then just shout out to friends and family and support. Like, part of the reason why I like cars is you get to meet really cool people like you and a lot of other people through this
platform
hobby we have.
Oh yeah.
And it's great. It's that's what I take away most from this. So.
Nice. Alright, so we're gonna wrap up the video. If you guys stay to the end, make sure to leave a thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next video.